the best show on planet Earth. Yes, it is your man, Sodi Pop. Welcome back. All right, let's go win Pokemon. It is great. VeVe NFT, heck yeah. Welcome back, man. Good to see you. It was awesome to be on Twitter Spaces. So the Twitter post somehow didn't realize you had a channel. Oh my goodness. Well, that's not good. Come on, Matt, do better. Well, hope you're all doing well this morning. Hopefully everyone got the drop. I did not. Continuing my streak of getting destroyed by the drop, right? Unfortunately, I have had zero luck of the Irish and or other peoples because, yeah, just not happening for me. Hasn't been for a little bit. And honestly, I haven't seen many people I know get the drops either. Oops. Sorry about that. I accidentally pressed print screen there. We're going to be doing a live comic reading shortly as we wait for the market to open. And I'm going to try out the voice changer today. I was messing around with it before. Hopefully it's working just fine. Going to be exciting. So, of course, we have Tales of Suspense number 77. Ms. Peggy Carter is the first appearance here on this one. Let me know how you're doing today in the chat. If you got a comic, if you did, which one? Epic fails in the comic for us too. Comics are super rough. Yeah. Also, because VeVe 3, you're old rhubarb, right? I heard you on the AMA yesterday. Good question. And it was I was like, oh, I hope you didn't miss out on that question, because I know they invited you up and then you're doing something with your kid, feeding your kid or whatever, and then it wasn't happening. Oh yes, and I'm drinking Crystal Geyser, a little sparkling water here. Of course, some good stuff. All right, failed last 5 drops. Better than I'm still 0 for like the last 13, 14 or something. I think altogether I had 2 in the last, I want to say 16, 17. Yeah, just not going well for me, which is fine, which means we're getting more users. I am fortunate enough. That's why it was so great to be early. And we see, as we see here, as the bird flies, we can see that the cryptocurrency market is recovering here. So really, really awesome stuff. Bitcoin almost back at 45K, Ethereum almost back at 3,000, and nice recovery. We've been seeing a lot of, with the Ukrainian situation, a lot of Bitcoin, and I think Cardano was being used and a bunch of other stuff being used to send to Ukraine to help them in their fight against the tyranny. OBL, afternoon. Yes, welcome in. Nice, awesome. Thank you so much for coming in. VeVe 3, they dodged me a little, haha. I want some numbers to reference when talking to people. Yeah, numbers is always really important, and knowing who founders are and why that's important. Because if you don't, a big thing in crypto in 2017 was just that they had a website and people would rate the founders. You'd go through and rate the founders, who they were, and sometimes the founders were anonymous, and that still happens today. But in 2017, that happened all the freaking time. Rhubarb. What's cracking, bud? Nice. All right, we're having some good vibes today in the chat. I love it. Thank you guys so much for attending. And of course, we have When Pokemon and I will be hosting another chat on Sunday on Twitter Spaces, 10 a.m. Pacific time. So if you can come, that'd be awesome. We've had some amazing discussions there, sharing a lot of information. You might see me looking around, and that's because, here's my cord. Like, I had my cord right here for doing the comic reading. So as we wait for the market to open, we'll be going. Apologies for the computer noises as we get plugged into Tales of Suspense number 77, the first appearance of Peggy Carter. Of course, we have Captain Carter. Ooh, something's power surge on USB port. That's not good. Well, that's interesting. I don't know, USD. Okay, we're gonna. Oh no. I have to replug in my USB ports. That's really weird. That has never happened to me before. That's interesting. Power surge. Wow. One moment, please, as I figure this out. Because it just killed my mouse really quick. One moment. Be right back. We'll play some music as I'm messing around with this. I think this will be just a second, though. Well, I can't play music because my mouse is SOL. 1 second. Ooh, that was really interesting. Computers, aren't they just the darndest things? All right, we are back in business, I believe. Cool. Well, that was weird. Then I had a power surge on my front USB to check out what that's all about later. I'll probably forget it. Just trying to VeVe in 3, just trying to shake off the morning and get on with this day. I read that Terms of Service 75 is the real FA. TOS. But TOS 77 is the named FA. Most of the website. So I read TOS as Terms of Service. I was not. Tales of Suspense. Gotcha. Most of the websites seem to agree with 77 being the FA. Wild though. That's the thing. I mean, you have all these back and forths, and that's what's going to happen in our community. You know, when we look at going forward for some of these collectibles, golden moments, where they change the FA to FE. The skateboard is a great example. What will the community decide is the FA or the FE? I'm sure there's going to be some differentiators. What was the first Disney drop? Was it the skateboard, or was it technically Elsa because she was the first Disney character? Although Disney is technically owns Fox 20th Century or whatever the license is. So always good times. All right, let's head to the comic reader. Boom, boom, boom. Not that one. That one. Beautiful. We'll make sure we are on. Hopefully I can hear myself. Ooh, I'm hearing echo. That's just fine. Okay, okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. And Peggy Carter, of course, we have Captain Carter, and she was made in FA recently. And we have seen her. There we go. Beautiful. We saw her shield in the Multiverse of Madness trailer. Captain Carter's shield, so she might appear in there. And of course, we have a really popular show, Captain Carter. So she could be bigger in the universe. You know, that's just a lot of speculation with most of these heroes. Ghost Rider, Miles Morales, of course. Miles Morales is going to be huge. And that's just speculation in general in like the universe. Okay. We'll make sure we keep going. Beautiful. All right. Tales of Suspense, number 77, as live read by your boy, Matt, aka Sodi Pop. Let's get going. Iron Man and Captain America. Tales of Suspense, featuring Ultimo Lives. The invincible Iron Man. Ultimo Lives. Stand back, Stark, before I destroy you at will. You shall witness no human eyes of mine have ever seen. You are about to see my supreme creation, Ultimo. Ultimo, who shall win the world for his master, the Mandarin. Do what you will with me, but others will follow. You'll never defeat me, Freeman. He threw my attaché case into the moat below. That means I'm finished. I can't become Iron Man without it. Let's not bother with the repetitive resume. This ish. If the above dialogue doesn't bring you up to date, then hang around and see after class. Here? Alright, so we have the Mandarin here with Tony Stark. And of course, we have Stanley as the writer. Even as we speak, Ultimo comes closer and closer. Gotta stall for time and hope for a miracle. Who in Sam Hill is Ultimo? The greatest weapon the world has ever known, for he is a living weapon. Only the Mandarin could have created such a being. He is far more powerful than I, but he is mine to command. It has taken me long years to create Ultimo, the most destructive android of all time. And not another living being has suspected his existence, for only a long-dead volcano could conceal his gigantic bulk. And it was in such a place that Ultimo was born, a place known only to Mandarin. It took all my supreme skill, my matchless genius, my oriental patience, to achieve the impossible, to create a being that no power on earth can defeat, the ultimate engine of destruction, and to make him my slave. Only by combining the mystic secrets of the Far East with the scientific wonders of the West can such a feat be accomplished. And now I'm ready to bring my android to life. The time of waiting is ended, and the time for conquest is at hand. I knew once I threw the fateful lever, there could be no turning back. Let Ultimo live! Ooh. Then it was done. I had activated the circuits that would breathe artificial life into my gargantuan android. The energy quotient is increasing. Nothing can stop it now. But then I realized, for the first time, that even the magnificent Mandarin was capable of miscalculation. Ultimo is absorbing more power than I'd planned. His hunger is far greater than expected. But the circuits were not designed to withstand such an incredible strain. I made Ultimo too powerful. Oh no, that's not good. Come on, Mandarin. Get together. See, and this is why you need review of like-minded beings. So that's why there's scientific review process. I digress. Still, I did not panic. I provided an escape route for myself. The pressure is beyond control. It is death to remain here another instant. I must return to my castle. Only there can I be safe. Can I be free to control Ultimo? Seconds later, unable to contain the seething, surging power within the volcano erupted, spewing forth the mightiest menace on Earth. Truly, Ultimo is free. And so, a new era begins for mankind. From this day hence, aided by the power of my android creation, the Mandarin shall reign supreme. And Iron Man is helpless to stop him. Now stand back! With a turn of a dial, I shall bring Ultimo into view and under my complete control. This Tony Stark, I'm no match for the power rings he wears, but if I can reach my attaché case below. Ah! Even now, an image comes into view. I've got to chance it. While the Mandarin's attention is riveted upon the control panel, if I can just back up to the stairway in time. What is this? Red troops attempting to attack my castle? The abysmal fools! They are aware that I have refused to serve their worthless ends, because it is the Mandarin who must be master of all. Uh-oh. They then shall be the first to feel Ultimo's power. He is almost upon them. But what is this? My helpless captive dares to back silently towards the inviting exit behind him. I have lost all interest in you, therefore let me speed your own way with this one final power blast. Thus I do show my utter disdain for both of you and their cursed Iron Man. For when the mighty Golden Avengers learn of your fate and comes to gain retribution, he too shall be defeated with equal ease at the hands of Ultimo. Thrown back by my titanic force of the Mandarin's power ring, the captive industrialist is hurled towards the castle's stairway like a helpless living puppet. You wish to flee to freedom, so I give you the chance. A pity you cannot hear my generous offer. Yeah, that's a pity. A pity indeed, Anthony Stark, that you shall never hear anything again. No. Now that you shall trouble me no longer, I can turn to more momentous matters. Thump, thump. He lands at the bottom of the staircase. But the Mandarin has made his first fateful error, for Tony Stark shall trouble him yet. Once again, my protective chest device has saved my life, this time by serving as a shockproof vest. I had no chance without it. The Mandarin's ring power is staggering. If he dented it just a fraction more, I'd been... But now that he thinks I'm finished, I can still... What? The castle is shaking up a storm. The convulsions are too steady for this to be an earthquake. It's like the pounding of some gigantic, unimaginable, powerful footsteps. Ultimo it must be, but that must be the only answer. The pounding is getting stronger. That means he's coming closer with every step. His size must be gargantuan. But no matter how monstrous he is, no matter how powerful, it can reach my attaché case in the water below. Iron Man will live again to battle him. Splash! He jumps into the water. And even as a desperate Tony Stark searches for the cold, murky waters of the Mandarin's moat, the earth tremors grow increasingly more deafening. Boom. Hark! The Mandarin has unleashed the fury of many cannon against us. Ah, so, and yet never have I heard cannon with such strange and ominous sound. Thump, thump, thump. We have the red troops closing down on the Mandarin. But then, 1 second later, it is a living behemoth. The Mandarin has conjured demons against us. Flee, flee! Ere we are trampled underfoot. Thump. He comes out. No. Stand your ground. It is merely an illusion. We must drive it off. Thus, while some of the red troops flee in panic, others raise their weapons. And, keep firing! We shall stop him! We must stop him! They're firing at the big behemoth known as Ultimo. He is truly a demon. Our shots have no effect. His eyes, behold his eyes. They begin to gleam as though with liquid fire. They glow brighter and brighter. What does that mean? Come on, guys, you know what it means. Shield your eyes. The intensity is blinding. What is the purpose? Wait, look, he prepares to strike. And strike he does. As Ultimo's two gleaming eyes beams become twin bolts of explosive destruction force. The ground, it bursts open beneath our feet. We are doomed. Zzz. He's fried all of them. Now he lifts the very cliff itself. Jump, jump for your lives. Within seconds, the frenzied red infantrymen are at full retreat as Ultimo dashes tons of rock and shale to the earth in a mad paroxysm of the uncontrollable rage. And it is at that fateful moment that the golden form of Iron Man appears, almost totally dwarfed by the awesome figure towering menacingly above him, or maniacally above him. Ultimo! I found him at last. But how could I have known? How could I have ever believed that he'd be so gargantuan? If his power is proportional to his size, even 100 Iron Men couldn't topple him. But I must. The Mandarin must never unleash such a living nightmare upon mankind. He's looking down. He sees me. His eyes, they're starting to gleam. Zzz. If my jets hadn't enabled me to dart aside in time, that blast would have automatized me. His eyes are like two gigantic disintegrator cannons. They're beginning to glow again. Another attack is coming. Zzz. Ah! My jets can't speed to safety forever. I've got to attack them. But how? Meanwhile, halfway around the globe, in Washington, D.C. It is true you've cited Tony Stark for contempt of Congress, Senator Byrd. It certainly is. We gave him every chance to appear before our committee, but he too chose to ignore those requests. The time has come for that irresponsible millionaire playboy to realize that no man is above the law. I digress. And so, by the authority invested in the committee, I shall have canceled all his government contracts for defense weapons and other items Stark will be out of business until he comes back from hiding. This is a grave moment for our nation's history, a time for patriotism, for the dedication to the cause of freedom. There must be no special privileges for self-seeking opportunists like Stark who flout their country's laws. Stark Industries closed until further notice. Wow, that happened really quick. Perhaps Senator Harrington Byrd might change his opinion of Tony Stark if he could see that the self-seeking opportunist at this very moment, but alas, there are none to witness this grim tableau, none to save the gloating Mandarin, none save the gloating Mandarin and his prepare us the right finis to the glorious career of the seemingly helpless golden gladiator whom the world calls Iron Man. Next issue. Never before such scenes of battle. Never before such moment of triumph. Well, they spoil it. Come on. All right. Captain America, living legend of the World War II. If a hostage should die. At last, Mighty Marvel reveals for the first time in the never told before saga of the girl from Cap's past. Who could that be? Script Stan Lee, layouts Jack Kirby, penciling John Romita, inking Frank Ray, lettering Sam Rosen, hip singing Irving Forbush. I don't know what that means, but we can come back to it. I see you guys chatting. I wonder if the power rings are from the current Shang-Chi movie. How observant. That's really good. Nice. All right, we continue. I've waited all day for this documentary program to be presented, and now I almost wish I hadn't. It brings me back to many memories. Memories better left in the dim, dead past. The first Allied combat troops to ever enter Paris during the liberation of France can never forget the inspiring spite of one man who has become a legend in his own time. The historical film, which has become almost as familiar as the flag raising on Iwo Jima, shows Captain America engaged in the final mopping up at Gestapo headquarters. We have Captain America punching the Nazis. Nice. One of the many unexplained mysteries of that fateful event was the reaction of Captain America when he saw the Allied troops. Instead of wearing the triumphant smile one would expect to see, he appeared shocked, distraught, almost on the verge of panic. So it was obvious to all of them. Finally, America's most gallant sentinel of liberty freed himself from the cheering GIs, who had happily lifted him upon their shoulders, and with a brief moment he had lost himself in the crowd. But it wasn't soon enough, and I was still too late to ever see her again. For the entire free world, it was a day of victory, a moment of glory, a time for rejoicing. But for me, it was the day I suffered the first tragic loss of my life. Later, there was to be the death of Bucky, the greatest partner in battle that any man ever had. That day, the last few moments of fighting, when the victory had finally been won, I lost her. Forever. I never knew what's certain, whether she'd be killed or if, but it had been more than 20 years since then. If she were still alive, surely she'd be found me by now. I never told them that it was because of you. I was so desperate on the fatal day. I wanted to find you, to tear all of Paris apart until we were together again. But it was too late, my darling. I lost you forever. That lightning and thunder, it's like the angry roar of the past trying to capture me again. If only I could return to that day, if only I could go back and have a second chance. Then, as the heavy-hearted Steve Rogers stares into the blackness of space, the sounds of thunder seem to bring him back the roar of the cannons to his anguished ears, as does the return of that fateful day, to the magic of his memory. Ooh, I can see all of it now, as if it were happening all over again. I'll never be able to blot it from my brain. And now, let us join the silent, brooding man. Let us share his tortured memories as we journey back to the day when a defeated German army tried desperately to fight its way out of the false gap. Germans firing. The roads are jammed with fleeing men and machines as the wreckage of smashed vehicles and more litters the countryside. Then, in a final frenzy of defiance, the retreating Nazi troops see an armed band firing at them from a hilltop. Partisans, only a handful of them. We must wipe them out. The Nazis fire at them, and so the final futile charge begins. But suddenly, at the crest of the hill, the thin line of partisans divides, and a mighty red and white blue garbed figure hurtles towards the startled Nazis with the impact of a human thunderbolt. Ah! Is he? Well, hold on. Is he pole vaulting? Where did he get a pole vaulting stick? That's awesome. Did Captain America invent pole vaulting? Good for him. Himmel! It's Captain America! You can say that again, Otto. Boing, boing. He's reflecting shield bullets. The sooner we get this over with, the sooner I can go home to your pig's knuckles and sauerkraut. So don't look at me. I'm really doing you a favor. You're the one I want. Tell the men to throw down their arms. You'll be mighty sorry, you little Übergruppenführer. Comrade, you're right. There's no longer any use in fighting for a lost cause. Thus, a few brief moments later, it's over. Come and collect your prisoners. That's the last of them. Now it's on to Paris. The Führer always said the Allies would never have the courage to stand up to the master race, and like mindless puppets, we believed him. Ah, you silly Germans. Then, as the prisoners are rounded up, and one of the partisans detaches herself from her group and rushes to Captain America, her adoring blue eyes shining with undisguised pride and something more than pride. Ooh. You were wonderful. I'll never forget these weeks with Captain America fighting at our side. I won't forget them either. But you've got to leave the partisans. This isn't woman's work. Well, that's rude. I can't leave. This war is everybody's war. I was needed, and I answered the call, just as you did in your own way. I know, but I haven't the right to speak to you this way. It's just that you've come to mean so much to me. A little water. And even though I've never seen the face behind your mask, I know, deep in my heart, that there can never be any other man for me. Do you realize what you're saying? This is horrible war that we should ever separate us. If we should be fated never to see each other again, I never ever forget you, your voice, your eyes, touch of your arms. Don't say it, my dearest. Nothing ever separate us. Oh, Cap, will this war never end? Will we never be able to lead normal lives? How can we speak of love when the world is in flames? When I don't ever know your name. Oh, I can't last forever. One day will come. We must both have faith. Well, they've only hugged in his costume. Interesting. Well, Spider-Man, remember, he came out of a grave and he was showering. That is crazy to think they were in World War II. That is freaking wild. I'll talk about. I have so much to say about that. Really interesting. At that moment, a partisan courier speeds up to the Cap on a roaring, smoking motorcycle. Captain America, you're needed. There's a detachment of Krauts holed up in a bunker between us and Paris. But he's been in battle for days, without rest. Headquarters figures it's a job for you. Don't tell me, lady. I'm not the chaplain. I've got to go, but wherever you are, I'll find you again. We're about to split up the partisan force. My orders call for me to go to Paris alone. No, you can't. You mustn't. The Paris is still occupied by the Nazis. You wouldn't have a chance there. I won't let you do it. You mustn't try to stop me. We both have to follow orders. The underground is well armed and organized. They'll protect me. Even so, I'll come to you as soon as I can. I'll finish my mission here. Wait for me, my darling. Now that I've found you, I couldn't bear to lose you again. I'll wait for you, Cap. No matter how long, no matter how difficult, I'll wait for you forever. Nothing will keep me from you. I swear it. You must go now. There's so much to do. Cap departs. But no sooner does Captain America complete his prescribed mission than another one is given to him, and another after that, while the Nazi occupation of Paris becomes more nightmarish with every passing day. All the shootings, hostages, where will it end? It must be done, even if the Redamant's allies capture the city. The Führer has ordered the execution of all resistance leaders before we surrender. That's pretty messed up. That's definitely a war crime. Oops. The commanders of the underground are still at Lodz, Nishwar. Ja. But the girl we captured, she knows their whereabouts. Think of the rewards that shall be ours if we can pry her secret from her. Let us leave, no longer enjoy such sordid thoughts. It should not be difficult to learn what we wish from the lone female. Nine. This is determined to face death before we shall betray the underground. We wish to see the prisoner, Jill. Jawohl, mein Capitaine. Oh, sorry, that was like more French, I think. Captain. Capitaine. Are you ready now to tell us what we wish to know? You're wasting your time. Nothing can make me sacrifice the lives of others to save my own. Grace, no one may defy us. It is our destiny to conquer. Oops. I think I had a little glitch there. Oh, sorry, everyone. There's a little glitch in the stream, it seems. But I think we're back on now. Let me know if everything's... I think we're good. Okay. I just got noticed that my thing disconnected. All right. You must give us those names. We are the master race. No one may defy us. It is our destiny to conquer. If you think we shall spare you because you are a woman, you are sorely mistaken for a line. Now, this is your last chance. Yeah. Yeah, war crimes. I think it was the Geneva Conventions where they kind of spelled all that out. You know, the different war crimes, which was post-World War II, I believe. Maybe, perhaps. Go ahead, shoot me. At least I shall die from freedom. But when the Allies finally crush you into the muck you rose from, you will have died for nothing but insane fear. It's useless. She'll never talk. We are wasting our time. But you shall waste it no longer. Very well, you leave us no choice, but we have to have you shot. Moments later, the defiant girl is led into a cold stone corridor, there to join the line of other prisoners being marched out into the grim gray courtyard. Keep moving, all of you. Mach schnell, ein, zwei, drei. Get in line with the others. Now march. No talking. Move. Ein, zwei, drei. We faced death too many times in the past to fear it now. They may murder us, but they'll never break our spirits. My only regret is that I've never had another chance to see Captain America. If only we could have met just for one more. I could have told him again how much I love him. And then, suddenly, boom! Explosions nearby. What can you mean? Can it be the big Allied drive at last? It's an attack! The underground is showing itself. It's uprising. Do not let the hostages escape. Shoot them! Shoot them! No, no! You murderous beast! There's been enough bloodshed. Quick, run! This is our chance. Don't stop for anything. Ooh, it's Peggy Carter. Grabs a man's face. Wow, she's brave. But then, at the very split second, a shell lands directly in the center of the courtyard, and moments later, the remaining Nazi forces had been given the order, evacuate Paris. Death to the Boche. The killers must not escape. The resistance are fighting. Stop them, smash them, destroy them. Those Nazi murderers. Don't let them survive to plunder and sack another town. Surrender, Nazis, surrender or die. Ach, mein Lieber, it is not possible. How can such an undisciplined rabble defeat the cream of the Third Reich? Where can we run? The underground is everywhere. And, throughout the battle, darting, dashing, fighting, shouting encouragement, and lending inspiration, the figure of Captain America is in the ever forefront until... Hold your fire! It's the American adventure! Quick! Which one of you is Francois? Francois! Speak up! Every minute may be vital. I'm Francois, the girl you told me could come, sooner or later. But alas, mon ami, you are too late. Too late? What do you mean? Out with it, man. She has been taken by the accursed Gestapo. We tried to rescue her, but time and again, each time we failed. But Captain America won't fail. Where is their headquarters? Hurry, tell me, tell me. Minutes later, a Nazi staff car frantically attempts a desperate escape down a wreckage stone, shell-scarred boulevard. Faster, faster, you dumbcock. The underground is everywhere. Just another few kilometers and we'll be safe. But those few kilometers are destined to be forever and beyond the reach of the two fleeing men. A car, just what I need. If one hair of her head has been harmed, no, I mustn't even think of it. Meanwhile, a scant few hundred yards away, the spearhead of the Allied combat forces cautiously enters the smoldering city of Paris. Everything looks quiet, sir. So does a rattlesnake before it strikes. Look sharp, soldier. We're not fighting amateurs. But as the tense and sensible moments crawl by, it becomes apparent that the city has been won. The Nazis are in complete rout. We'll head straight for the Gestapo headquarters, Corporal. There may still be some hostages to be freed. I'll record everything in sight, sir, for Division G2. Oops. Very well, Sergeant. We stay out of our way with the infernal camera of yours. Thus, the scene we are now beholding was recorded for posterity. Where is she? What did you do with her? Tell me, or... Oh, he's beating the crap out of the Nazis. It was a shell. It hit the courtyard. When the smoke cleared, she was gone. They were all gone. It's Captain America. Brother, the films will make me famous. Get out of the way, all of you. I can't stop now. I've got to find her. She may need me. I don't know, but he's yelling about. But I've waited all my life for the pictures of these. And, as fate would have it, Cap's desperate cries are drowned out by the thunder shouts of elation, the sound of countless voices cheering, yelling, laughing, acclaiming the liberation of the city. Paris is free, the crowds are on the run. There's Captain America, grab him, let's celebrate. No, let me go, wait, stop. This is no time for modesty, mister. We've all got us a genuine hero here. Now, we ain't letting go. Keep tooting that bugle, soldier. Let's make him hear us clear back in Berlin. Mom, Mademoiselle from... I don't know that song. That's it, guys. Get him up there. We're all he Joes can see. I can't refuse them. It's their moment of victory. I mustn't spoil it. Come on, let's march them through their town. Here we go, Cap. Gangway! Oh. And so the costume figure of Captain America is borne aloft in the shoulders of the widely cheering GIs. As the masked adventurer, heart slowly sinks within him. It's all so hopeless. I can't find her now. Perhaps later, when the noise and the excitement die down. But surely, she'll learn that I'm in Paris. And even if I can't find her, she's bound to seek me out. All that noise, the excitement, if only I could remember what's it all about. Everything is blank from my mind. Who am I? Why am I? Oh, she lost her memory from that shell. All I can remember is an explosion, a terrible earth-shattering explosion. I must have had some sort of shock. I've got to be patient. My memory will return soon. It has to return. It has to. But softly the light drone of the raindrops began to beat down upon the street of New York. In the year 1966, as the sound of the fury of the sudden storm begins to fade away into a wispy nothingness. After all these years, I still don't know if she's alive or dead. I still don't know what became of her. Then gently, a memory-haunted man closes his window. Past has vanished once more, and he knows it can never return. Next issue, Captain America meets Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Woo! Tales of Suspense. Okay, so they have like mail. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's we'll go through and read this. Maybe next time. Well, we had Ultimo. So essentially two separate stories. One with Iron Man fighting Ultimo and the Mandarin. And then of course Captain America. That was really sad. And she should get checked for a concussion. That's scary. Hey, the combat cameraman. That was my job when I served. Represent. Nice. What in a combat cam? I mean, that's probably how you know so much about, a lot about camera work, it seems like. What part of the military did you serve in? Was that in the Army or the, I know we have a lot of Marines around me where I am right now. Classic Silver Age amnesia. I mean, man, Silver Age Amnesia, you had that. It's so funny how that percolated to all like forms of everything. You know, you have that in a bunch of anime. You definitely had it, of course, Final Fantasy VII being a super popular example of it. I think also used to great effect. I love Final Fantasy VII, but it's cooler because you thought he was kind of someone else, which is interesting to me. Won't spoil it if you haven't played that yet. All right, let's check out VeVe, see if, oh, you know what? I don't think it's loading. Cool. It wasn't loading on my iPad for a while, but now it's back in loading. My girlfriend's account on my iPad because she has an old school phone. All right, so introduction to Peggy Carter, very brave. Actually, kind of a cool story. I enjoyed more the second one than the first one personally. So that's up at I mean, we see 16, 17 gems here. We've seen the market rise a little bit, and this is an introduction of a pretty important character. Let me turn off my echo. I thought I was going to use the sound effects, but I really didn't. Okay, cool. So the echo is turned off for me. Another one. So what we saw yesterday, the release of the other Tales of Suspense, I believe, the Ghost Rider, the Marvel Spotlight. This one has risen quickly. So it was at 40 gems yesterday. I was trying to buy one at 10 gems. I kept on seeing it, and I saw it's really interesting. So I was on Reddit and I saw someone say they bought like 20 of them for 10 gems. And I was on live stream trying to buy one for 10 gems and just couldn't do it. You know, probably did like 15 minutes of trying to buy it, 10, 15 minutes. Couldn't buy it because eventually it rose to like past 15, 20 gems. And then end of the day rose to 40, so it had a little pump. So you were good if you sold a few at 40, and then you could buy back down lower if you wanted to do the trading move. But really interesting how much that Ghost Rider pumped up in the meantime, and you could get it for. So that's what I always wonder, is that, you know, if maybe you're close to that AWS service or what have you, you can get those low ones that appear quicker than, you know, like you're me, where I was seeing them, but I couldn't get any of them. VV3, Navy for me, attached to Marines, Army for different periods. Combat Kara was my last 3 years in. Thanks for the reading. Gotta go herd the kids. That's my job these days. Nice. There you go. You deserve it. All right. Thanks for your service as always. Very cool. I'm glad your kiddos are doing well, seems like. And thank you so much for attending. So again, especially every time. So I think right now, I used to do like start a little bit before the drop. I think I'm going to start like I did today, like 15 minutes after the drop. That way we can wait for the market to open, and it's a little bit clear as to what we're talking about. People aren't so distracted trying to get the drop. I'm not so distracted trying to get the drop. It's more fun for me that way too. Because when I try and get the drop on stream, I'm like, oh, okay, gotta concentrate, gotta get into it. Let's get ready. So we can talk about getting the drop together afterwards. But it seems like no one is getting the drop these days, unfortunately. So the market has been recovering little by little. We can look at Shark Bite, was around 400 for a long time, and we can see now is at 342. So Shark Bite dropped all the way to like 2 something and now has recovered quite a bit. Unfortunately for me, that is one that I need to complete. I didn't pull a trigger on really anything yesterday. Shark Bite was one I was looking at, but I was like, I want to save some of my gems. So we have seen a little recovery as we have with the crypto market as well. Lady and the Tramp still below 1,000, little recovery. Becky Cloonan, Batman, 1.7. Let's see where that 1-to-1 DeLorean is. The static rare at 115. Wonder Woman had dropped quite a bit. She's still down there at 105. You know, she was at past 200 for a little while and just kept dropping. So it's definitely still some deals to be had. I know that Brendan Z was looking at Ritmo yesterday, and he was down quite a bit as well. Would have been a good idea to get him yesterday or a day or two ago. So again, still some deals to be had. They are slowly disappearing. Donald Duck and Daisy FAs, dual FAs here. These were below 1K for a little bit, so has risen back above. Is now a bad time? Not necessarily. You know, that's why you think of my 3-bucket strategy, dollar cost averaging, where you have one bucket that is your gems, another bucket that is your your stuff that you're willing to get rid of, your trading capital, I would say. So if you have stacked, for me, I've stacked a few spider ghosts, and I'm willing to let go of those and a few other things. And then your other stack will be your long-term holds, your quote unquote blue chips or whatever you want to call it, the stuff that you want to hold for a long time, whatever that means to you. You know, year plus, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, forever. Depends what that is. So that way it gives you a good approach to what might happen. And I've definitely bought low. I've not been perfect, but it gives you that middle ground that you don't have to be perfect because you're kind of always ready for each circumstance. So you're ready for the drop, you're ready for it not to drop. You know, I bought a little bit on the drop. Did I buy enough? No, never buy enough. Did I sell enough? No, definitely never sell enough, unfortunately, because these things are awesome and they're addictive as well. They're very, very interesting. Anyways, I'm going to head off for today. I have a bunch of errands to run. Need to pick up something at IKEA. Need to go to the bank. Need to return some stuff from Amazon. So all that great stuff. Probably get some coffee because I've just been surviving on this sparkling water so far. But again, this Sunday, of course, when Pokemon and I will be on Twitter Spaces at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I think I'm going to go back to every drop doing some sort of live stream. Definitely every comic drop I will be doing a reading because that's, I think, super fun. I think people like it. So hopefully you all enjoy it. Trying to get better and better at it, do some voices and stuff. I do have a little voice mod box and stuff that I can use, and hopefully that will be entertaining. And anyways, where was I? So live streams, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram at Sodi Pop Media. There'll be more and more stuff coming down the pipeline as I have I'm waiting on a package that will allow me to do some more stuff. Anyways, enough said. Thank you so much.